This is the WHKY News. I'm Ralph Mangum, and it's time for our weekly roundup of some of the crime stories we had for you during the past week. That's the week of October 28th through November 1. Let's get started.
The guilty plea is in connection to an incident that occurred in 2021 in Statesville. The victim was in a vehicle that was ambushed by the defendant, who fled the scene. He was apprehended in Georgia months later. The defendant received a maximum sentence of close to 8 years in prison. 35-year-old Tyrell Dante Daniels pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter in connection to the death of 20-year-old Zion Trayshawn Gaither. The plea was entered last week during Iredell County Superior Court. Daniels was sentenced to up to 7 years, 9 months in prison. On June 8th of 2021, Gaither was in a car with 2 other men when a shootout occurred along Williams Road in West Statesville. According to court documents, one of the occupants in the vehicle reached out to Daniels. The man and Daniels had a previous disagreement, and the meetup was intended to quash any negative feelings. According to reports, the meeting turned out to be an ambush. So once again, a maximum sentence of 7 years, 9 months in prison for Tyrell Daniels, who was charged in connection to the fatal shooting of Zion Gaither of Hickory in 2021. The incident occurred in Statesville. Reporting from Hickory for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
42-year-old Jose Antonio Casanova of North Main Avenue in Newton was arrested Saturday by Newton police officers. He's charged with second-degree forcible rape. Casanova was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility, where he's being held without bond. A district court date was set for October 28th. 53-year-old Sean Christopher Blankenship of the East Bandies Crossroads in Catawba has been arrested by Catawba County Sheriff's officers on charges of statutory rape of a child less than or equal to 15 years of age, incest with a child 13, 14, or 15 years of age by a defendant more than 6 years older than the victim, indecent liberties with a child, and statutory sex offense with a child less than or equal to 15 years of age. Blankenship was jailed on October 28th in the Catawba County Detention Facility under a $2 million bond. An appearance in Superior Court was set for January 21st, 2025. 40-year-old Elliot Lane Luther of Stony Point was arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's deputies on October 19th. He was charged with 3 counts of felony first-degree statutory rape and 1 felony count of child abuse by sexual act. Luther was jailed in the Iredell County Detention Center without bond. His next appearance in district court was scheduled for November 6th in Statesville.
A Lenore man was arrested for stolen property possession. 62-year-old Jimmy Edward King of Lenore was arrested on Friday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony counts, possession of stolen property and possession of a stolen firearm. King was jailed under $25,000 secured bond. A district court date was scheduled for Monday.
39-year-old Antonio Carlos Harris of Hickory was sentenced to serve 7 to 10 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to felony counts of fleeing to elude arrest with a motor vehicle, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver methamphetamine, and possession of a firearm by a felon, 2 counts. The Honorable Matthew Osmond, Superior Court judge from Mecklenburg County, handed down the sentence Monday in Catawba County Superior Court. Harris will serve his period of incarceration in the custody of the North Carolina Division of Adult Corrections. His sentence length was enhanced by his status as an habitual felon. Harris has prior felony convictions for first-degree burglary in Catawba County in August 2008, assault with a deadly weapon inflicting serious injury in Catawba County in June 2004, and attempted common law robbery in Lincoln County in May 2002. In October of 2022, a Catawba County deputy saw a vehicle at a gas station and determined that the driver had a suspended license. The vehicle left the station but was pulled over a short time later. A canine search led to the recovery of a handgun found in the vehicle, which was driven by Harris. Harris had previously been convicted of robbery with a dangerous weapon in Catawba County in August 2008. In December of 2022, Brookford officers attempted to stop a vehicle for an expired registration. Harris, the driver, stopped the vehicle and opened the door as the officer approached, but quickly shut it and sped away at a high rate of speed. He led officers on a chase, passing vehicles illegally, running a stop sign, and reaching speeds of 100 miles per hour. The chase eventually came to an end in Vail. Harris exited the vehicle with a gun in his hand, but he dropped it before he was apprehended after a short foot chase. He also was found to be in possession of methamphetamine, marijuana, and digital scales. Brookford Police Chief Willie Armstrong and Catawba County Sheriff's Officer Casey Day investigated the cases. Assistant District Attorney Howard Wellens handled the prosecution with aid from legal assistant Meredith Scott. 45-year-old Patrick Terrell Brown of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, was arrested last Friday by Iredell County Sheriff's officers on a felony count of fleeing to elude arrest with a motor vehicle and misdemeanor counts of failure to heed a light or siren, speeding, reckless driving with wanton disregard, and resisting, delaying, or obstructing a public officer. Brown was also reportedly involved in an armed robbery earlier that day in North Georgia. On the 25th, nearby law enforcement agencies alerted Iredell County deputies regarding the possible suspect vehicle as it entered Iredell County. Deputies quickly located a vehicle matching the description as it traveled north on Interstate 77. Deputies attempted to initiate a traffic stop. However, the suspect refused to comply and began to flee. The pursuit came to an end when one of the vehicle's tires deflated, forcing the suspect to stop. Before deputies could reach the stopped vehicle, the suspect exited through the window and attempted to flee on foot. Deputies quickly apprehended the suspect, identified as Patrick Terrell Brown. He was arrested without further incident. A search of the suspect and the vehicle turned up an undisclosed amount of cash, which officers believed to be connected with the armed robbery in Georgia. The suspect was placed in the Iredell County Detention Center under a $75,000 bond. Authorities in Georgia will obtain full extradition warrants for Brown on the armed robbery charges. He'll appear in an Iredell County courtroom on November 18th on the local charges and on the fugitive warrant.
A Hickory woman faces fraud and forgery charges following an early morning arrest. 37-year-old Victoria Kristen Chalice Gore of Hunter's Chase Drive in Hickory was arrested by authorities in Catawba County. She's charged with felony financial card fraud and 2 counts of forgery of an instrument. Following the Tuesday morning arrest, Gore was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility under no bond as she awaited a district court date the same day. 38-year-old Daniel Abshari of Thomasville was arrested Monday by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a felon. Abshari is a felon as a result of a conviction in March of 2024 in Davidson County on charges including felony counts of possession of Schedule II controlled substance. Following the arrest Monday, he was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $45,000 bond. A district court date is November 18th.
A Lenore man was arrested for breaking and entering and larceny. 35-year-old Calvin Smith Jones of Lenore was arrested on Sunday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony counts of breaking and entering, conspiracy to commit larceny, larceny after breaking and entering, and possession of stolen property. Jones was jailed under $80,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He is scheduled to appear in district court on November 20th. A woman was arrested for having controlled substance on or near a playground. 34-year-old Heather Michelle Watson of Leicester was arrested on Sunday by Lenore police officers. She was charged with 3 felonies: possession of drug paraphernalia, manufacture, sell, or deliver controlled substance on or near a playground, and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver methamphetamine. Watson was also charged with misdemeanor larceny. She was jailed under $25,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for Monday.
On Tuesday, North Carolina Insurance Commissioner Mike Causey announced the arrest of a former Caldwell County fire chief for allegedly embezzling $155,299 from his fire department. 49-year-old Brian Jason Edwards of Grace Chapel Road in Granite Falls was charged with embezzlement, common law forgery, and 6 counts of obtaining property by false pretense. Special agents with the Department of Insurance's Criminal Investigations Division accuse Edwards, a former chief at Grace Chapel Volunteer Fire Department, of obtaining the funds from the fire department by falsifying the hours he worked on timesheets from 2019 to 2023. The department's special agents worked with detectives from the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office in the investigation. Caldwell County deputies assisted in making the arrest of Edwards. He was given a $50,000 secured bond and a Wednesday district court date. This week, the Grace Chapel Volunteer Fire Department issued a statement. They say that Brian Edwards resigned from the department in December of 2023 and has not been affiliated with the organization since then. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
36-year-old Kyle William Holland of Monroe Road in Maiden has been arrested by Conover police on charges of felony larceny of a motor vehicle, possession of a stolen motor vehicle, driving while license revoked, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Holland was jailed Tuesday in the Catawba County Detention Facility with bond set at $6,000. A first appearance in district court was scheduled for October 30th in Newton. 33-year-old Nelson Elijah Stevens of Hulltown Street in Catawba has been arrested by Catawba County Sheriff's officers on charges of robbery with a dangerous weapon, assault with a deadly weapon, breaking and entering with intent to terrorize or injure, breaking and entering, and larceny after breaking and entering. Stevens was jailed Tuesday in the Catawba County Detention Facility with bond set at $35,000. He remained in jail as of Wednesday afternoon. He'll appear in district court on November 19th in Newton. 48-year-old Watina Ann Haynes of Hickory was arrested by Taylorsville police Tuesday evening on charges of assault on a government official, urinating in public, intoxicated and disruptive, resisting a public officer, and possession of marijuana. She was later served with a warrant for failure to appear. Haynes was placed in the Alexander County Detention Center under a $16,000 bond. She'll appear in district court Monday in Taylorsville.
A Lenore woman is charged with possession of Schedule II controlled substance. 40-year-old Megan Leanne Rupert of Lenore was arrested on Tuesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. She was charged with felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance, felony possession of methamphetamine, and misdemeanor possession of controlled substance on a penal institution. Rupert was jailed under $27,500 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. She is scheduled to appear in district court on Wednesday. The Boone Police Department is asking for information from the public regarding a fatal crash last month. On Saturday, September 28, 2024, at 7:23 p.m., Boone Police and Boone Fire personnel responded to Deerfield Road and the intersection of Blairmont Drive for a hit-and-run crash involving a pedestrian. 48-year-old Terry Turbeville was found with life-threatening injuries. Mr. Turbeville was transported to the Watauga Medical Center, where after life-saving efforts, he was pronounced deceased. Investigative efforts revealed additional information, which expanded the period of time for potential witness observation of circumstances surrounding this incident. Anyone in the area of Deerfield Road and Blairmont Drive after 4 p.m. on September 28th, but especially between the hours of 6:45 and 7:30 p.m. are strongly encouraged to make contact with the Boone Police Department investigative team. Anyone with information regarding this incident should contact Detective Delaney at 828-268-6929 or at his email scott.delaney@townofboone.net. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY. A Hudson man has been charged with sexual exploitation of a minor. 36-year-old Nathaniel Willard Bird of Hudson was arrested on Wednesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with one felony count, second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor, and misdemeanor failure to appear. Bird was jailed under $101,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He is scheduled to appear in district court on October 31st. A Lenore man is arrested for trafficking in methamphetamine. 37-year-old Christopher Allen Gwynn of Lenoir was arrested on Wednesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony counts of trafficking in methamphetamine, possession of methamphetamine, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver marijuana, and attempted breaking and entering. Gwynn was jailed under $50,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center.
The suspect in this case was arrested following a reported pursuit with police, during which he lost control of his vehicle, according to police reports. Police say they found methamphetamine during their investigation. The suspect was brought to the Caldwell County Detention Center following his arrest. 41-year-old David Mark Joyce of Great Falls, South Carolina, was arrested Tuesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with 2 felony counts of trafficking methamphetamine, along with single felony counts of maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for controlled substance, and flee to elude arrest with a motor vehicle. On Tuesday, a Caldwell County Sheriff's deputy attempted to stop a black Chevrolet Cobalt in the Valmead community after the driver ran a red light at Highway 321 and North Main Street. The driver fled northbound on 321, leading deputies on a pursuit into Blowing Rock, where the driver lost control of the vehicle. David Mark Joyce was taken into custody after exiting the vehicle. A bag in his possession contained 175 grams of methamphetamine. Joyce was arrested and charged with the Caldwell County offenses. Bond was set at $100,000. An outstanding Polk County, North Carolina warrant for possession of a stolen motor vehicle was added, along with a $5,000 secured bond. A district court date was scheduled in Caldwell County on Wednesday. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
23-year-old Desire Lanique Brown of Highway 70 Southeast in Hickory was arrested by Hickory police last Friday on 3 felony counts of possession of a Schedule II controlled substance and 1 felony count of failure to appear. She was also charged with misdemeanor counts of assault on a government official and child abuse. According to nccourts.gov, the Schedule II narcotic is cocaine. The same website also lists an upcoming court date for possession of a Schedule I controlled substance. Brown was taken into custody without incident shortly after 12 a.m. on the 25th at her residence. She was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility with bond set at $34,000 secured. She has since been released. Brown had district court appearances scheduled on October 25th and 28th, with her next court date coming up on November 18th in Newton. 43-year-old Bobby Lynn McCrary of Hefner Drive Northwest in Conover was arrested by Hickory police Saturday on 2 felony counts of identity theft. McCrary was taken into custody without incident at about 5:20 p.m. Saturday at a hotel on Lenoir Boulevard Southeast in Hickory. He was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under a $30,000 secured bond. At last report, he remained in jail. A first appearance in district court was scheduled this past Monday, with another court date coming up on November 18th in Newton.
On Wednesday, October 30th at 3:13 p.m., Morganton Department of Public Safety responded to a hit and run involving a pedestrian in the parking lot of Shoe Show located on Morganton Heights Boulevard. Public Safety Officer Litford arrived and spoke with the victim and several witnesses. The investigation revealed that a black female entered Shoe Show and left without paying for 2 pairs of shoes. After the female walked out of the store with the shoes, one of the employees followed her into the parking lot. The female then got into the passenger side of a white Acura driven by a black male. The driver of the Acura made a right turn on the travel lane of the parking lot, attempting to speed away. The Acura struck the employee, causing head injuries. The victim was transported to UNC Health Blue Ridge and then to Mission Hospital. The suspect's vehicle was last seen on camera traveling past Walmart at a high rate of speed. You can see that photo here. At the time of this report, no details were released on the health condition of the Shoe Show employee. This case is under further investigation, and anyone with information should please contact investigators at 828-437-3333. We'll keep updates on WHKY.com. I'm Ariana Mack.
WHKY first reported on the arrest of this suspect on Thursday. More information has been released. 36-year-old Nathaniel Willard Bird of Hudson was arrested on Wednesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with 5 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a child. On Wednesday, investigators with the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office, along with assistance from agents with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation and officers with the Boone Police Department, searched the home of Nathaniel Willard Bird on the Austin Road in Hudson. The search warrant was obtained after the Sheriff's Office received an exploitation cyber tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The tip indicated that an electronic device owned by Bird was downloading material depicting child sexual exploitation over the previous months. Investigators collected numerous items from Bird's residence to be forensically examined. Additional charges were expected against Bird. Following the arrest, he was placed in the Caldwell County Detention Center under a $110,000 bond. He was scheduled to appear in court in Lenoir on Thursday. Reporting from Caldwell County, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
34-year-old Christopher Michael Anderson of Mount Zion Church Road in Iron Station has been served with a felony warrant as a fugitive awaiting extradition to another state. Anderson is wanted in Cherokee County, South Carolina for probation violations. The warrant was served October 31st at the Catawba County Detention Facility, where Anderson has been held since November of last year. Anderson, who is a registered sex offender, remains in jail in Catawba County, where he's being held without bond. A district court appearance on the fugitive warrant was scheduled for December 4th in Newton. Anderson also faces a DWI Level 1 charge in Catawba County, which is designated as the most serious level of DWI. And 33-year-old Alexander James Wellborn of Stony Point was arrested by authorities in Alexander County Thursday and charged with felony possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting a public officer. He's being held in the Alexander County Detention Center without bond. An appearance in district court was scheduled for November 4th in Taylorsville. Wellborn has previous pending charges for felony possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, injury to personal property, and second-degree trespassing. Thanks to WACB's Rick Gilbert for that information. Those were just a few of the crime stories we had for you during the week of October 28th through November 1st. Look for our weekly recap, which is posted every Saturday on our YouTube channel, along with all the rest of the WHKY News. I'm Ralph Mangum. Thank you all for your continued support of the WHKY News.